Okay, guys, welcome back. So I took the deck to the fourth extravaganza. So the deck's gone 2-2. I've topped twice. I've got the mat twice. I guess if you get technical, I guess the other one should not have been a loss. Like I should have topped the other one as well. But it was like a minor like misplay on my part. So I guess you can take that for what it is. But yeah, I guess 2-2 is not so bad. Especially because every time I took it, it was a different build, right? It was very drastically changed. Especially this build. This build was way different. Okay, so there was 6 rounds of Swiss. There was no top cut. I played 2 tries, Salad, Striker, a Mirror Mat, freaking Ben. I was playing the same deck, well, the previous build. And then Adagnister. So that was like, oh my god. So I lost a Salad. I drew with Adagnister in the last round. It was crazy because okay, the Salad one, it was like, it's just an unfortunate mill. Like if I milled any level 2 or lower, I would have won. Any level 2, any level 2 or lower, I would have won. But I didn't mill it. I milled like Solemns, Imperms, Talents, and it was just horrible. Like it was like, what the hell? This is not meant to be happening. Statistically speaking, it's not meant to be happening, and it did. I was like, what the? So I lost that one. And then I go into the last round. I was going against Sam. He's playing this Adagnister deck. And I win game 1 because it was like a grindy thing. Like I imperm something and he just ends up passing. But oh my god, freaking sad that you freaking took so long, dude. It's just depending on setting or passing. Oh my god, that was robbed 7 minutes. But anyways, I win that one. Game 2, he wins that one because he nibs me and he has the arrival on the field. I was like, okay, I'll just scoop because I want to just. There's like 10 minutes left on the clock. So I start and I was like, there's no way because. If I didn't play, because I play fast, like I play like really fast. The way I play the deck is just extremely like high paced. But if I slow down the pace, where I would I guess go like a normal pace, like where it's not above average, where it's like, you know, like but I'm like going like this. I'm like, because I want to avoid the draw because I want to guarantee the win because I know that if I set up my board and there's like a minute left. I'm gonna negate everything he possibly does, and he has to have droplets. Otherwise, I win. So I wanted to get to that point. So that's what I was rushing and going fast paced. So then I ended on my board really like kind of like half ended because I wanted to like, okay, I felt like this is enough. I had a Crystal Herald, a Veiler, and like an Imperm or something. I can't remember what I had. And I'm like, this should be enough to just have him to pass, like, cause if he's gonna be like, okay, I'll just think about it, then slow roll it, then okay, what the fuck, you know? But like, you know, given the, I guess the mutual understanding of maybe, okay, maybe he knows that he can't do anything, then just pass, then I could just OTK him the following turn. But nope, that didn't happen. He goes Senate Mining, I go Herald Effect Negate, and he goes chain call by. I was like, that's fine. And he goes summons a red negate with Crystal Wing, and then that was it. And he can't do anything. And then he just thinking. And I'm like, oh my god, what are you doing, Sam? What are you doing? Like, I don't think he could have won. But then the time gets called, and then we get a draw. I was like, oh my god, Sam, what the heck? But everything else was nice. But anyway, the deck is different. I changed the deck drastically. The night before, I was like, let me just try this. But then the morning of, I was like, no, I can't try this. so I was like, I changed it back. But I was like, no, you know what? It's the last event. I had to try it. Let me just try it. So triple starter Synchron, triple junk Synchron. Like this ratio should not change. It all comes up. Like every single copy always comes up, whether it's to level module with Excel, or just having it as an option just to like mill it off of a Chaos Wheeler. Because the more you have, the more options you have to milling it. And of course, you have your Asketer, Dawnwalker, your Primal Play. This gets your things going. It lets you set up your Chaos Wheeler and mill these guys along with Doppel, so you can do your play without having to normal summon, which is insane. And then of course you have your double Psi-reflector. I cut it down to 2 because I got really peculiar with the ratios in this build. Because a lot of you it's not sold on a higher card count deck because it's just, I guess it's like a psychological thing, like 40 40 40 40, you know. It seems like it's an accomplishment when you get to 40 and you get, you know, it is fulfilling for sure. Like getting your deck to be the minimal amount, it's an achievement in itself, so it's gratifying. So of course you're gonna gravitate towards that. But like I don't really mind higher card count decks, like, you know, it's just the variance of it, you know. But two's fine. Two of them for two teleport seems logical, right? Your Doppel Warrior. This card's amazing. And then you have your Junk Converter. If you notice, I'm not playing Kaliko. That's the drastic change. I was like, well, the main part of the deck, right? You want to open up these guys instead of Kaliko. So that's the way I was thinking about it. Okay, so reduce the count. Try to get to these guys as fast as possible. If I don't open up this, then I'm gonna open up this with the Synchron package. So although there was like those instances where I was like, oh my god, if I get Imperm here, if I get Veiled here, I don't have Kaliko, I don't have that play anymore. So it was a bit daunting. So I was like, oh my god, but it didn't happen. Like that just wasn't happening. I just kept opening up this engine, and then whether they stopped it or not, it cleared the way to see this, and it was like, wow, not bad. Not bad at all, dude. It was awesome. Things that were happening a lot was I would go overtake, summon, overtake, summon, and then just chain block, and end on the Crystal Wing with like Veiler and double Imperm or something, and that was sufficient enough to just beat Tribigate or beat like Salad or something, you know. But like, yeah, that mill was off. And then of course you have your one-ups, the bricky one-ups you don't really want to play, but you have to. Assault Beast, Stardust Trail, Fire Ant, and Cyber Synchron. These two are there to increase the ceiling just enough. Because the moment you take away these, like let's say you can play this and make it more consistent, right? The ceiling will drastically lower, man. Like it will, like it'll just drastically be like worse. Because like this lets you have a play post Nibiru, which is insane. Like the amount of times like I got Nibiru and I would have like double Veiler or double Imperm in hand. I go, okay, it's fine. Tribute a token, make an Omega, rip, and slow them down with double Imperm, and then draw like an overtake, draw a Junk, or like have a loaded grave with Stardust Synchron, and then continue thereafter. Like that's like the amount of times that happen is insane, and it seems very minimal, but it's sufficient enough to get you by. Of course, you have your triple effect Veiler. It's just the light. It's the only hand trap I'm playing apart from Imperm, because like Ash is a generically good hand trap versus virtually anything, but it had little to no synergy and it wasn't as impactful as I would like it to be. Whereas this, you can sequence these out together. Like if you draw Ash, like double Ash, you can only use one of those Ashes, and sometimes that one Ash is not going to be sufficient enough. Whereas if you open up multiples of this, multiples of Imperms, you can sequence them out and have your interactions be more impactful rather than just an Ash. And then having this have synergy with the deck is insane too, because you can reborn Ash with Junk. You can reborn this with Junk, which is insane. And the Chaos Ruler as well, it helps a lot. And then of course you have your Overtake. This is the biggest change as well. I cut the tunings because Max sent me a list I think last week. He said he cut tunings, and I was like, it contributes to like how opening up like tuning Junk, tuning Stardust Synchron, tuning like at first I was like, I mean I tried that already, but like I didn't like it because it felt kind of weird, like it just lowered consistency. But I was like, I mean, I guess I did see the problems you're talking about, but like most of the time, I having the tuning be a searcher and a mill was huge. The amount of times I would go tuning mill like Doppel, mill converter, mill Caligo, it was just insane. And then you combo off with one card. But for this event, I was like, let me just try it. I mean, it's not too crazy. I mean, it is crazy because I missed it like a lot. I was like, oh my god, it feels weird not playing tuning. But it was fine. Like there were little consistency issues. Everything worked perfectly. I was like, oh wow, this feels nice. But like I said, yeah, it was really cool. Just being able to go activate summon the converter or Junk, or Doppel was really nice. And then yeah, and then sometimes you do have like dead tunings. But I don't know. It was a bit odd, but it worked. It worked fine. Triple Tactics. This card's amazing. You just need to play this. It got reprinted, so it should be easier to get. The moment you activate this and they ask you or something, okay, it's perfect. I already have access to it. Just go Tactics, hit the last card you have that might stop me, and it's just insane. And especially going second as well, you can break boards, which is freaking hilarious. You can take their card and synchro with them. That's like the most insult to injury. It's insane. And of course, yeah, the double teleport for the 2 reflectors. It's the same purpose as the Dawnwalkers. It initiates your play, get your Chaos Ruler going, mills the cards you want to mill, and then it sets up your Hot Red, which is really nice. And then if you draw into it, you can make a Stardust Charge or a Dragster as your last negate, which is really nice. And then of course you're playing your Rhoda. Look at the secret rare. This is nice. Then you have Illumination, Reborn. This card came in so many times, man. And then this is the way I played one droplet. You don't have to play this. It's just that I pulled it on my birthday, so I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna fucking play it because I have it. Why am I gonna use it?" So this is the 41st card, and then of course you have your Call by the Grave. This with talent, insane. It's just insane. So powerful one ofs. But yeah, you don't have to play droplets. It's just something you can play. Of course, you have your Infinite Permanence, your only other hand trap, because you want these type of hand traps. It's good against Try, but mainly solely for Appaloosa, because Appaloosa is quite annoying. You can't deal with it on top of the Revolt. You can play around Revolt, you just can't play around Appaloosa and Revolt. That's the issue. And the thing about Try as well, if you open up one Imperm, don't bother. Just don't use it. Just save it for your turn and negate the Appaloosa. That's all you have to worry about. Appaloosa. You can play one Revolt. If you open up two, then you're fine to use both, because you can negate both their attempts, and most likely that end your turn. But yeah, the deck's 41 cards. You can cut the droplets and make it flat 40. Perfect for those of you that like 40 card builds. Yeah, but it's fine. Okay, so you have a side deck, Dark Ruler. Of course, when you go second against build the boards, Tritron mainly, because like ultimate sucks. Like, it's just ultimate. Like, it's like, okay. Draw versus Adagnister, Tritron, and I guess like maybe Invoked, because they search so much. You can play around the Mechaba, but the punishment can be kind of like, ooh, like kind of weird. And then the one nib, just the one nib. It was a 15 card. I was like, I don't know what to put in, so I would just take this out for like the droplet against like against Solid or any like heavy combo deck. Evenly, just good against like backward decks, and just like when you pair these two together. If you have droplets, you can play these droplets instead, and then these two paired breaks any board, which is insane. And because I was playing twin instead of these, but like against Outlich, you just go evenly. It's just insane, like the hell. And because this is what I do, Judgment Reboot. I cut the strikes because I wanted to just like guarantee something to play go in second versus Tritron. Like I could play this against Tritron, but it wasn't enough. I felt like I needed to have this, and the Impermailers, because stopping the Mu Beta, stopping the Diviner, and then having them resort to the Goons play, then you just evaded the Verte, and then you just free to do whatever you want, because they don't have any hand traps. They just have orange, and you can play around that. Like, yeah, so that's what I kind of wanted to, yeah. And then plus there's a lot of Adagnisters at our event, so this hasn't changed. Like, this hasn't changed at all. You have your Shaman, Martial Meta Marcher, your Herald, your Quandax, your Excel, Junk Speeder, Junk Warrior, TG Hyper Librarian, Stardust Charge, Dragster, Cypher Lord Omega, Crystal Wing, Cash Ruler, Hot Red, and Satellite Warrior. I see a lot of you cutting this card and this card. Like, I don't know how you're sequencing out your turns, but this is like standard sequence. I mean, unless you're playing the Arrive in Light package, which is what I'm against. But like the typical play with Doppel is if you play around Nibiru, assuming they're trying to slow roll the Nibiru, which I don't see why they would, because you're threatening Crystal Wing. If you go Doppel, you go into this, make this, and then you this, and then you end up making her. And then that makes this, and then this turns into this, and then this will manipulate to eventually turn into this, and then this brings back this, and that's how you make your this, and then you, depending on what you draw, you finish your board. But like, I don't see how are you guys cutting this card? Like, oh, you're missing out on draws, and you're missing on versatility, because these two make Satellite Warrior as well, which is nice. But that's basically it. The deck works fine. Like, it worked perfect. I'm not gonna like it's more of a stubbornness of wanting to play at tuning, because it's such a nostalgic card, and it's tuning, man. It's tuning. Like, you don't want to cut tuning, but like it did fine. I mean, if you really want to play tuning, you can add tuning, make it 44 more 43, and it should be fine. Like, yeah. but like nonetheless, yeah, I was pretty happy with it. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can try it again. See how it goes. It's following weekend. But we'll see. But that's gonna be it. Hopefully enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe if you haven't, and thanks for watching.